Hasbro says no more D&D movies or TV shows ever?
Forever.
Welcome to the Character Sheet, your home for fantasy and TTRPG news. And today we're looking at a pretty shocking announcement about the future of the Dungeons & Dragons brand, buried in a recent interview with Hasbro CEO Chris Cox. But before we break all that down, why not take a second and hit those like and subscribe buttons? And then let's talk about the future of Dungeons & Dragons entertainment. In a recent Bloomberg interview with Hasbro CEO Chris Cox, the big focus was on Hasbro investing in creating an in-house Dungeons & Dragons video game and a new video game based on Magic the Gathering's Commander format. But also buried in that interview came a pretty big bombshell about the future of the D&D brand in entertainment. Following the somewhat underwhelming box office performance of Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, Hasbro will no longer co-finance any new D&D movies or TV shows going forward. Despite Honor Among Thieves getting excellent reviews and having the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which made over $1.3 billion worldwide, released the week afterwards, and already having to compete with the second week of John Wick Chapter 4, Hasbro seems to have written the film off. Even with the film becoming an international hit upon its Netflix release, rising to number one in several European countries and racking up 7.2 million hours viewed in its first week of release, which did not even include the United States, it apparently was not enough reason for Hasbro to see value in continuing to finance future D&D TV shows or films. That means the long gestating Dungeons & Dragons TV show supposedly being made for Paramount Plus is almost certainly dead, and any hopes for a Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves sequel seems to be gone as well. With Hasbro selling off its own film and TV division, eOne, a year ago, fans knew that they would no longer be involved directly with the future Dungeons & Dragons projects, but they still had hope they would co-finance other big projects with established studios and companies like the proposed D&D TV show on Paramount Plus, or even potentially an Honor Among Thieves sequel. But this latest announcement seems to shut the door on the D&D brand's future on the big screen or streaming services. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean we will never see another D&D movie or TV show, but without Hasbro co-financing any new projects, it does make it much harder for other studios to create new movies or streaming series, as they would have to both buy the rights from Hasbro and then get no financial support or help with marketing from the company in return. This isn't impossible, as Michael Bay has largely made a career for the last decade out of making movies like that with his Transformers films, which Hasbro produced a lot of toys for but never actually invested in financially or collaborated as a co-producer, but it does make it very unlikely that something like Dungeons & Dragons will get a similar treatment. Dungeons & Dragons is still in the middle of a major boom, so there is a chance that the brand could attract a major studio or major director to finance their own film or TV project in the D&D universe. And we know, for example, that Joe Manganiello was trying to buy the Dragonlance rights back from Wizards about a year ago to create his own Dragonlance TV show. And now that Hasbro officially has no future plans to finance any D&D shows or movies, maybe they will finally be receptive to his offer. Maybe they will finally be receptive to his offer and sell the film and TV rights to Dragonlance to Joe and his team, so we finally get that Dragonlance series made. But even that may be the only Dungeons & Dragons show or movie that has even a glimmer of hope of getting made in the near future, given this somewhat bleak announcement from Hasbro on the fate of the D&D brand in theaters and in streaming services. So what do you think? Do you still want to see a D&D TV show or an Honor Among Thieves sequel? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.